Welcome to the series Critical Thinking Skills in Science. We're on Chapter 8, Non-Western Science. This is session number 5. We're almost at top, completing the structure of the house. Right now, we're just putting on the caps floor, which is the finished products. Number 13, the finished product, the creation of the heavens and the earth. Okay, so how was it according to this model? And according to the resources that we have, how was the creation of the heavens and the earth? According to Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 19, God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to divide the day from the night. Let them be for signs to mark seasons and days and years, and let them be for lights in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth." And it was so. In this account of the heavens and the earth, God has said, let there be lights in the expanse. Why? To divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs, to mark seasons, days and years. Let them be for lights and to give light on the earth. God had a purpose. It's not just that God creates and say, well, let's see what this does, or what happens here, or let's see how this unfolds. And it's kind of like, no. Every one of his processes are directed. Every one of his processes have a completion, have a purpose, have a direction for it. And that's why it wasn't a big bang. And some people say, well, maybe God used the Big Bang. It's kind of like, well, the Big Bang is a theory. It's a mindset. And it says that it's an explosion and that there was no purpose, plan, or goal intended. And yet we have what God said and says, no, let there be lights. There's a goal here. There's intention here. There's purpose here. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the expanse of the sky to give light to the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. God saw that it was good. There was evening and there was morning, a fourth day. That is the creation of the heavens and the earth according to the biblical parameter. From a non-Western perspective, from a reliable source of knowledge that is accepted as being authoritative. The next product, the creation of life. Okay? We have from the first house, we had the matter, energy, and time, and chance, and that spontaneously life generated, not more than once, just one time in the whole circuit of history, in one place, by chance. And that is the narrative provided us by the Western science. The non-Western science is the creation of life. The narrative is given to us in Genesis chapter 1, verses 11 through 13. God said, let the earth yield grass, herbs yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit after their kind, with their seeds in it on the earth. And it was so. And the earth yielded grass, herbs yielding seed after their kind, and trees bearing fruit with their seeds in after their kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, a third day. This is the biblical record of how life began. And it was not a sequential building hierarchy as in a Western mindset, but it was that God created. God created over here the plants. God created the trees. God created the seeds and the fruit and the bearings. God created them with explicit purposes. They just weren't waiting for something to happen, and then whatever happened, then we would see what that provided for. But no, God had an intent. The product, the creation of man. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Yahweh God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. That was the creation of man. Man was not a product of mutations, of previous genetic material that was then heated or then, by select mutations or chance random mutations that man was formed. Man was intentionally formed in the image of God, formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Biblically, man went through a two-part process. One is that God formed man from the dust of the ground, but even after being fully formed, that fully formed man did not have life, just because of the chemical composition and because of the perfection of being his design and his creation. But then God breathed into him the breath of life, and man became then a living soul. We now have the house pretty much completed. We have the different origins, the origins of the heavens and the earth, the origin of life and the origin of man. And now we come to the roof, which is the conclusion. This man of this house concludes then that the Creator God of the Bible exists and is praiseworthy of all honor and praise, is worthy of all honor and praise. That's found in Revelation chapter 4, verse 11. Worthy are you, our Lord and our God, the Holy One, to receive the glory, the honor, and the power. For you created all things, and because of your desire, they existed and were created. They were created with a plan and with a purpose because God desired it. And He desired it and therefore created it. And therefore He is worthy. Worthy are you, our Lord and our God, the Holy One, to receive glory, the honor, and the power. For you created all things, and because of your desire they existed and were created. God is worthy. God is worthy. Why? Because He created. He created all things. And for us to say, it looks created or it looks designed, but it wasn't, is to intentionally take away from the master craftsman the credit that is due his name, and to say, wow, look what happened. Give her enough time and chance and explosions. Something can be created that I can't even duplicate in a laboratory. Isn't that amazing? I think that God has created for our enjoyment. He has created to watch us and to see us enjoy what He has created for us. And that He has created us differently, a little bit lower than the angels, He says. He created us so that we can enjoy fellowship with Him. This is session number 5. Chapter 8, Non-Western Science. Again, thanks for joining me. We're Tim and Holly, and if you'd like to communicate with us, you can do so through the addresses on the board. Thank you again.